Hey there, Modler2 here for the Pretend Pros. Currently on a PS TV, also known as a Vita TV or a PlayStation TV, depending who you are, where you're from, blah blah blah. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing the remote play with a PS4 Pro using, well, the PS TV, as I said. And the reason I'm showing that off is just to prove that it actually is the PS TV. I'm gonna be doing this at 720p, 60 FPS, as you can see here, and let's connect. It's really super simple. Searching nearby, I have it hooked up with an Ethernet cable instead of Wi-Fi, as well I'm sure you could tell. There we go. For some reason we were in some weird ass menu, but we're good. So just going off the menu here, it looks pretty decent. Colors seem a bit dark, but that's really not the end of the world by any means. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is The Last of Us. Let's see how well this does or does not look. Currently, my PS4 Pro is set to output at 2160 YUV, simply because I've been using HDR to record a bunch of other stuff. Sorry about that. Fucking phones, hate them. You know how it is. Anyways, so this is going to be downsampling 4K to 720 for the PS TV, and we'll see how much lag there is or isn't. Seems to be like there's a fair amount of lag still, but it's going to be hard to judge until we're really in game. Once it's done loading, this is going to take a while. For that, I apologize. If you've played The Last of Us, well, you know how long this takes. It loads the whole fucking thing in one shot, which is by no means a bad thing, but in this instance, it's not necessarily the best thing. Probably wasn't my best decision to start with this, but made my bed, gotta sleep in it. Either way, it's about to be finished loading, I think. Or not. Well, it should be done soon. Anyways, if you happen to have a PS TV and you're wondering how well it works with the PS4 Pro, well, stay tuned. I'm going to be showing off several games here. The games I have in mind is that I'm planning on doing The Last of Us, Paragon, Battlefront. I've done Paragon on Battlefront on the other two PS4 Pro remote play videos. If you haven't checked those out already, feel free to do so. They're not bad. They're fairly informative. At least I'd like to think so. I'd hope so. I think I'm also going to do God of War 3, Uncharted 4, and we'll see what else. Probably Project Cars, just so that I can cover a wide spectrum of gameplay styles. Oh my god, could this fucking thing load any slower? Oh my Christ, it's still fucking loading. Holy shit. Okay, I think it's done. I could be wrong, but I think. I'm hoping. I was very wrong. It is so far from done. It hurts. Come on, let's go here. There we go. So we've gotten into it here, and as you can see, it's really not all that visually impressive. There's actually a ridiculous amount of lag here between me, pressing the buttons and it actually doing stuff. Definitely far from what I'd call playable. Kind of disappointing, actually. Sorry about that. As FIFA updated. Yeah, just really overall not that impressed. Visually, it really does not look all that good. Streamed to the Vita, this game looks certainly sharper, probably because of the OLED. But yeah, the input lag makes this absolutely unplayable, as I was afraid. And if there's a lot of input lag there, there's likely a lot of input lag in this as well. But at least for this, I'll be absolutely certain that there's a lot of input lag, and then I can be honest with you guys and let you guys know if there is or isn't a lot of input lag. So hopefully that won't be a problem. Sorry for that long waiting period. I'm going to do my best to avoid those, but some of them I really can't avoid. Like Uncharted, it's going to take a bit to load. This game is going to take a few seconds to load. All of them are going to load. But at least, you know, you get a full spectrum. You get a good idea of what runs well, what doesn't, what looks good, what doesn't. I'm actually really surprised at how bad this input lag is, considering this is hooked up with Ethernet cable and not even Wi-Fi. You know, Wi-Fi I would have understood that maybe there's a bit of input lag, but this is really, really bad. Ah, fuck it. I'll just do missions. That's what I meant to do anyways. Survival's fine. Tatooine is good. Solo play, let's do it. Do it. It's fun to say that. Okay, so it should be just about done loading. So far only one game in. Really disappointed in the piss poor performance of The Last of Us. It was laggy as all hell, and it really was just not good. This actually looks pretty good. Overall, it looked pretty good. Relatively sharp, not a whole lot of loss of detail. There's a bit of input lag here. Well, a decent amount of input lag, you know. It's definitely not a low amount by any means, but if you're used to playing on a high input lag TV, then certainly it really won't be terrible, but I don't know, personally I definitely think that this could have been a hell of a lot better. Oh man, difficult to play with this kind of lag, not gonna lie. Alright, I believe there's someone else over here. Just gonna get the last one and then move on to the next game. Just so you guys get a full spectrum of games. Okay, so that's Battlefront. Definitely less input lag than The Last of Us. A lot less input lag than The Last of Us, but still a fair amount of lag. And unless you had no other option, you know, I definitely not recommend streaming those games. But maybe Rayman Legends will be better. You know, when I was doing the PC remote playtest, there was also input lag, but Rayman Legends ran almost flawlessly and looked phenomenal. So, we shall see. Just gotta jump into here. Obviously, we're going for first level here because why the fuck not? Overall, it looks pretty damn good, actually, if I do say so myself. The background tree obviously has some noticeable quality degradation. Well, overall, it has a lot of quality degradation. It's not very pixelated though, which is nice. It's sort of just a blur that's being applied to it, which is by no means a deal breaker for this game. It certainly looks pretty good overall, and I mean there's really almost no input lag. A little bit. If I had to put a measurement on it, you know, maybe 10-15 seconds could be something like that. Oh, you got fucked up, son. Just gonna kill these two here. Explore here, see the door. That's it for Rayman. I'm gonna jump into a different game now, of course, because that is the spirit of this. You know, I want to be able to show off as much as I can, as fast as I can. I'm gonna do Shadow of Mordor next. Just because Shadow of Mordor is a PS4 Pro patch title, and Maybe, you know, it'll help it. There is a mode for performance and picture quality versus resolution, so I'm gonna set that and just see if that helps. Maybe this game won't suffer from the horrendous lag of The Last of Us or Battlefront, but I'm willing to bet it probably will. I can't promise that it will or won't, but I'm fairly certain it's going to have at least some form of piss poor lag. That's just going to make the game suffer. Fortunately, though, this isn't... Yes, it is a fairly fast-paced moving game, but it's not like a really fast-moving game like Battlefront, where you're constantly turning and panning, and there's various things like that. Favorite quality, gonna turn that on, of course. Oh wow, he looks noticeably worse now. Well, I guess that's what happens when you downscale from 1080 versus from 4K. Now, isn't that just depressing? They'll watch the sunrise together. Psych! No, they won't. Wow, okay. This really just does not look good. I would not want to stretch this. Right now I'm playing it on a 23-inch monitor. I'm capturing this with my Elgato HD60. And I would not want to play this on a bigger TV. But it's actually... Once you stop looking at the draw distance and you started looking more towards the actual section of the level that you're in and the walls and the characters, it actually doesn't look terrible. Not good, but not terrible. This is definitely playable. And the input lag really is not that bad, actually. Let's try this. Oh. That's fine. Don't need any more power to my USB device. I had my remote plugged in. That was a mistake. Didn't mean to. Anyway, sorry if that distracted you guys. Overall, it's not a terrible looking game, and actually exceeds almost every one of my expectations for it. So kudos to them. I think that's pretty great that they managed to get that working and done. Now I'm going to do Project Cars, then Uncharted 4, and then Paragon, and that's going to be it. I've decided against doing God of War 3 just because I don't actually have a save file for it on this PS4 yet, and I'd have to go through all the introductions and all that stuff, and I don't know if you guys would want to watch that. You know, if you want me to do a video of the stream of God of War, you know, hit me up in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to do it for you. But until then, you know, you can kind of get a fair idea of what the games are like and how it's going to work based off of the video here. Alright, it's just going to start this event here. This is going to be a pretty loud game. For that, I apologize. I'm hoping my voice will still be loud enough that you guys can hear me over it. If you can't, you know, just know that I have good thoughts, you guys, and I hope you enjoy this segment. I'm really hoping the input lag isn't bad on this. I tried this on the PC as well as on the Vita. The Vita was very good. It was very responsive. There was almost no input lag, surprisingly, but it's probably because of the resolution I was streaming at. But this game on the PC was unplayable with the input lag. Alright, let's change this camera here. I don't know about you guys, but when I play racing games, I like a third-person view. Overall, the input lag is actually not that bad on this. Definitely better than it was on the PC. So, I do believe that the PS4 is capable of streaming up to 1080p with remote play at 60 FPS, but definitely not something that I would recommend doing. Now there is a bit of input lag with this, but you're streaming, so that's to be expected. There's always going to be a bit of lag with remote play, but this is actually surprisingly... Oh, fuck me. surprisingly playable. And plus with the PS TV, you know, I have my PS4 remote hooked up with it, and I'm using that right now, so I don't actually have to use a PlayStation 3 remote, or I don't have to use the rear touchpad, or on a computer you could use a keyboard, and that would just not be all that good. But overall, I mean, this game definitely looks infinitely better on the console itself. Just gonna cut through here because reasons. But it doesn't look bad by any means, you know. This could be a PS3 title. It doesn't really look like a PS4 title with the quality degradation, the pixelation, the artifacting. But the lighting effects are still pretty nice. There's higher polygon models. That's also a nice thing. Just gonna speed down this road here so you guys can see it at fast speeds. Alright, next game! Uncharted 4. The quest for Avery's treasure. One man, one desire. I love that voice, don't judge me. Just going ahead and saying this picture here doesn't look all that bad actually, but it definitely could look better. So I really do not have high hopes for this. This is also another PlayStation 4 patch title, and it's going to be running at 1440p super sample down to 720p for the stream, which, you know, should actually maintain more quality than if it was running native 720, but this is, the edges around the pirate there are blurred, especially around the tips of his hat. The rocks on the walls have some detail, but nowhere near the level of detail that you get playing at 1080, and especially playing at 1440 upscaled to 4K. I do have the HDR setting turned on my TV here. I don't know if that affects the stream or not. If it does, I apologize for that. There's not a whole lot I can do. I can try and turn it off, see if that'll work. Fuck it, I'm not going to turn it off. You just want to see if it works or not. I just want to see if it works or not. Hopefully this has been really informative for you guys so far. I'm really looking forward to seeing how well Uncharted works. I really hope it works pretty well. Actually, there really isn't a whole lot of lag here. I was expecting it to be much worse. On the PC, streaming at 1080p, this game really did not do well. I mean, it's native 30 FPS, so that's not really a problem. That its frames per second weren't perfect, but it was very laggy, and there was a lot of pixelation and artifacting, and overall this doesn't look anywhere near as good, of course, because it's 720p versus 1080. That's double the pixel count. But this is not bad.
Nothing, Saint Dismas.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, really speaking, there isn't a whole lot of lag with the camera here. So it's safe to assume that, I mean, obviously more complex scenes, there might be more lag, just because the console is more hardware intensive. But for the sake of just seeing if it works or not, definitely would say that it does, and would probably be willing to play it on this. Now, does it look anywhere near as good as it could? No chance. But it by no means looks terrible. And there's Crunch. If you are a big Paragon fan and you happen to want to see Crunch gameplay, I did a couple of live streams this morning that are on our channel for his normal skin and his challenger skin, both of course at 1080p 60 FPS. So feel free to check that out. I'm sure you guys will really enjoy that if you happen to like Paragon. If not, then you're probably skipping this segment anyways. This is going to be the last bits of the video here. Just want to get the final portions of a match just to see how good or bad the input lag is on this, because I personally really enjoy this game. I know a lot of people who enjoy it, and if they could be able to play their games outside of their homes using a PS TV at 720p 60 FPS, for a lot of people that would not be a deal breaker, as long as the input lag was not bad. Which we'll find out now. Actually runs really well so far. camera is super, well, not the camera, but the cursor is super smooth. I was expecting it to be just a fucking disaster with input lag fucking here, there, everywhere, fuck. Now, who should I play? Fuck it, he's new. I'll play Crunch just so y'all can see him. Here's testing. Oh, look at that. Let's see what his custom skin looks like. Not bad, not bad. Definitely prefer his Challenger skin, though. It's the nicest one so far, easily. In my opinion, at least. Overall, it's looking pretty good, though. I was expecting it to be much worse. There is obviously a noticeable decrease in quality, because even on a standard PS4, it plays at 900p upscaled to 1080. And right now, this is native 1080 being downscaled or super sampled, as it were, to 720p for this remote play stream. So it's by no means perfect, but it's also not terrible. It could be a lot worse than it is. Once we get in game and we start moving about and panning the camera quickly, it probably will get much worse. And I don't believe that this game is going to be really all that playable. But I could be wrong, so you never know. 50% done loading, almost there. I think it's going to be done real soon, actually, since the cursor popped up. And there we go. 9 seconds left. 7 seconds. Now, I'm really wondering with this quality degradation and this blur, if it's still going to look, you know, approximately close to what the original PS4 looked like. Better or worse, or all those fun things. It actually looks pretty similar to what the original PS4 looked like. If you look at the archways over here, that's how you can tell the blur is there. But since we're playing on PS4 Pro, obviously you're going to have more foliage throughout the map. You're going to have better reflections, dynamic light shafts, as you can see over there. But so far the input lag is not good by any means. However, though, if you were willing to turn down the controller sensitivity, it would probably help it a lot, actually. And that's certainly a good thing. At least I'd like to think so. I'm gonna try and kill this steel here. Do I have anyone with me? I have Iggy. Good shit. Alright, let's kill this bastard. Oh, Belika, why you do this? Oh, well, that's bloody unfortunate. No regrets, though. Anyways, it does work, not incredibly well. With that said, I'm going to go back to the home menu here. This has been an interesting experience, you know, with Battlefront and The Last of Us being basically unplayable with the amount of input lag that I experienced. Versus Rayman that has almost none, Shadow of Mordor that really didn't have much. Project Cars was fairly responsive. Uncharted 4 and Paragon do have some input lag, but are definitely playable if you're willing to sacrifice some quality degradation on this and deal with the input lag. That about sums it up, though. This is the PlayStation TV running at 720p 60 FPS streaming with remote play from my PlayStation 4 Pro. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it entertaining or informative, please like the video. That would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see any of our future content or gameplay or playthroughs, you know, subscribe to us. We'd all greatly appreciate that. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you know, hit me up below and I'll be happy to do my best to help you out. Thanks again for watching.